Listen to me, anointed one. When the whole village shows up with pitchforks, not because you done anything bad, because you are the fire that you can put off. These people who claim not to like you, somehow they end up forming a group chats about you, secret meetings, shared screenshots, alliances tighter than the reality show cast, and they didn't even audition. And this is the truth that they didn't expect. The same community teamed up to destroy you. Front row seats now for your divine comeback. Yeah, they couldn't stop it. All hands on deck. This wasn't just envy. This is a full-blown coloration of miserability. Yes, people, nothing in common they have. They suddenly united on one mission to take you down. You hadn't agreed on anything in years with each other. Somehow, the moment it's time to betray you, everybody knew their role, like it was a spiritual flash mob of dysfunctional. Yes, in psychology, there is a term called mobbing, when a group irrationally targets individual to isolate, demonize, and destroy them. Usually, that because that person unconsciously exposes their hidden uh, you know yeah, it's not just petty, it's exactly what just happened to you. This is the thing, you didn't just survive, you made it obvious that they were the problem all the time, all along. So let's talk about it. Let's peel back the curtain of what really happened, and the whole community tried to come for you. What it means now, they failed in front of everyone. Tappen. This is not just a story of a betrayal, it's a divine reversal. God made sure the whole town watched it unfold. Number one, they needed an army to face you alone. They needed an entire army to face you alone. That should tell you everything. This is not just a few haters with loud opinions. This was a group effort of a full blown community operation to take you out. People who couldn't even stand each other suddenly found unity in trying to destroy you. That's how serious your presence was. That's how powerful your light is. When weak people feel threatened, they don't come direct, they gather reinforcement. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't just whisper behind your back, they strategized, they held discussions, they plotted like a downfall was a group project. Some of them barely knew you, but signed up for the mission anyway. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. They could feel something different about you, and it disturbs the mediocrity of what they live in. And instead of levelating themselves, they decided to make you the problem. It makes this more wild that you have had no army, no backup, no protection from people. You stood with no one but God in your own resilience, and you still couldn't bring you down. They had support, status, numbers, connections, and still failed. You didn't have to scream. The truth made it out anyway. That's the kind of power that they didn't expect. They were banking on your silence breaking you, on your isolation crumbling, on your loneliness swallowing, and they misunderstood who you are. You were never built to blend in, and you were never protected by the crowd. You were anointed to outlast the storm, even when it looks like you were standing alone. Let's be real. Most people couldn't survive a fraction of what you faced. Constant attacks, fake apologies, public shaming, lies so bold that even the devil probably took notes, and you kept going, and you kept waking up, you kept growing, healing, and transforming while they kept recycling the same drama. You didn't just survive, you exposed their weakness without saying a word. They needed an army for a reason, not because you were dangerous, but because you were divinely dangerous to their illusion of control. And now, with all their efforts and collaboration, the biggest lesson is this: you cannot destroy what heaven has ordained to rise. Number two, their unity was rooted in insecurity, not truth. They didn't come together because you did something wrong. They came together because your presence exposed everything that they were trying to hide. Their unity wasn't built on truth, it was built on mutual insecurities. Each person have his own issue, but none of it was based on fact. It was based on how you made them feel about themselves. And the truth is, you made them uncomfortable without even trying. You didn't need to call them out. They felt seen just by being in your energy. People insecure, they don't look inward. They look for somebody to blame for the mirror they are avoiding. You became that mirror. And instead of dealing with their jealousy, shame, or fear, they buried it under the gossip. Here's what makes it worse. They pretended their alliance was about concern or justice or protection, when really it was well-dressed hate group. They hated how you never beg to fit in. Other they can't stand when you stay calm, while they need chaos to fuel their rhyme. So they built a storyline together to make themselves feel stronger. Strength built on lies always crumbles. And deep down, they knew that. That's why they had to keep checking in with each other to maintain the illusion. If they were really standing on truth, they wouldn't need constant validation from each other. You didn't cause their dysfunction, you revealed it. That's what they couldn't forgive that. And that's why they work so hard to flip the script and make you look like a villain. Because if you were the problem, they don't have to deal with the truth that their unity was rooted in resentment, not righteousness. But what's wild is that even with their combined effort, it still wasn't enough because fake unity have no staying power. Once their hate ran out of fuel and so their alliance, people started turning on each other, second guessing the lies and realizing they were just following the loudest voice, not the right one. They thought they were forming a strong front, but all they did, they revealed how weak they are in front of somebody walking in authenticity. You didn't break their bones. The truth that now they are left with each other's shadows while you continue to rise. Number three, they don't can kill what not built in needing validation. You know, they assumed your strengths come from their approval. That's how much self-absorbed they believed that if the monkey stopped clapping you will stop rising or you'll fall apart. They didn't realize nothing about you was built on their praise, their permission, or their presence. Your foundation wasn't social, it's spiritual. You didn't grow because of them, you grew despite them. Every time they withdrew support, you went deeper into purpose. Every time they lied on your name and sharpened your discernment, you sharpened your discernment and thought your rejection it will refine you. That's what made your story so powerful. While they were busy trying to cut off your supply, they didn't know they were never plugged into them in the first place. They thought that your worth come from the spotlight. You needed to play a platform, alliances, and infiltration or invitations, without striving with any of that. In their world, value is measured by how many people cheer for you. But in your world, value is measured by how many storms you can survive and still smile. That's why their attack failed. They came for your image, not knowing that your identity was already rooted in something that they can't touch. And the truth is, they never really knew you. They knew the version that they created in their heads, the one that they thought they could control or silence. But the real you, the one that keeps showing up stronger, clearer, and more focused, scares the heck out of them because it means all the effort they put into discrediting you was for nothing. You didn't just survive without them, you excel. And now everything they said you couldn't do is exactly what you do it without needing a seat under table. That's the part they can't live with. The part their absence didn't stop your purpose. The part that with a smear campaign only made people curious enough to find the truth. And when people did look closer, they didn't see a villain. They see someone built on unshakable foundation. Can't be killed. That's why they failed. And now they are stuck watching what they tried to bury rise higher than they ever imagined. They didn't just fail. They failed publicly. They didn't just lose quietly. They lost in front of everyone. That's the part that haunts them. It was carefully planned. They told lies with straight faces, convinced others to turn their back on you. They were so sure they have the upper hand, so sure no one will ever find out the truth. But when the truth came out, it didn't knock politely. It ripped the mask of the whole production. Hasta la vista, baby.